What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Spanish Fly, and always with me, my tag team partner. That's right, Nacho. Nacho, tell them what it is.
What's up, everybody? I hope you're all excited for this episode because I know I sure am. We got some good topics to talk about today. After that big second episode of WWE's Raw on Netflix. How you doing, Spanish Fly?
Man, I am doing fantastic, and I'm loving this Raw on Netflix. The
Mm-hmm.
first week was really good. It was really good. They came out with a lot of big hitters.
Yep.
But Nacho, I'll be honest with you, man. To me, the second week was better.
I thought so too. Even though it was shorter, I was
Yeah,
surprised
it
to
was
see it
shorter.
was
It
shorter.
finished at 10:30.
It did finish
Finished
at
at
10:30.
10:30. But to
I
me,
still
it
thought
was
they delivered. Everything was exciting.
it was a solid show.
Coming out of the first week, I was like, "There's no way they can top this," because it really felt like a pay per view.
It did.
And they even some of the stars were saying that's how they treated it, but they managed to. So if they could go up from here, if they could already outdo the first week, I don't know where they can go from here. Like I will say though, with the shorter time frame, that has to suck for people who paid to be there. They paid the same amount to go, and they got a half hour less of a show. Maybe they did some extra stuff after. I don't know. I didn't hear
Well,
any
yeah,
rumble about that.
well,
They still got a
they always have
great
those
show
dark
though.
matches or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean they still got a great
it's,
show.
yeah, yeah, it's the even the camera angles, the drone shots, and stuff like that. Man, they're really hitting on all cylinders.
They
They're
are.
really hitting on all cylinders. So I'm excited. But we got a lot to talk about today. We want to get right into it from the jump. Nacho, first topic. Tell them what it is.
First topic. As we get into Raw, the show actually opened
Mm-hmm.
with CM Punk coming out to talk, and he was interrupted. Unfortunately, not by Rhea Ripley like he wanted to be. He was interrupted by Seth freaking Rollins. What have you thought about this feud? Because I know this particular feud. Before we get into the next part of this segment, um, was the feud that everybody was talking about when Punk initially came back to the WWE, especially with Seth Rollins' reaction and with Punk's injury and then Seth's injury. It kind of got put on the back burner and moved into Drew McIntyre with CM Punk. And now that they're moving back into this with Punk and Seth and the other person I mentioned that we'll get to in a second, how have you received this feud as someone who's been watching longer than me and has actually seen the build up into this? What have you thought of the feud overall? The way that they've handled with the circumstances that have influenced the way that it's played out.
Well, two things come out to my mind right away is that they fought really quick, like in a sense where here's the build up, here's the match, Monday Night Raw, boom, and it caught me off surprise by CM Punk winning. Now I'm a Punk fan,
Yeah,
but I wasn't expecting him to win. I thought there was going to be some sort of shenanigans. Seth turns heel, uh, off to the next one, maybe have a trilogy match or something like that. But I like the way they're intertwining the three of them. The reason being, because like you said, the mentioning of the other person, Drew McIntyre, it's safe to say that going into SummerSlam, the best storyline that was going around, realistically, was McIntyre and CM Punk. I remember hearing people say that bracelet to them meant more than any title on the show.
yeah,
That was a great storytelling. That
it
match at
was.
SummerSlam was amazing, amazing match. Not saying just because it was in Cleveland we were there, but it really was a really good match. The Hell in a Cell match they had, by far, oh my goodness, another amazing match.
Yeah.
So to see Seth come into it, it's what we wanted to see with Seth and CM Punk. Also seeing the way CM Punk gave him two go to sleeps, just like he did his boy John Moxley in AEW, was kind of like, okay, I see where you're going. But I'm excited to see where this is going. I already told you how I felt in a sense what Drew is trying to do. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's going to start a faction. I think Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens will be a part of that faction.
Mm,
So I'm thinking that the next time they go through it, I don't see Punk coming out on top.
okay.
Um, but they got me interested. I'm interested.
Yeah.
It isn't like Damian Priest and Finn Balor. It isn't like
No.
Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, where I was dying for them to just stop the feud already. I was so done with it. You know, I like Damian. You know, I love Rhea, but I was just so tired of them seeing them fight each other. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I hope this ends. It's
It's
not
because
the
it's the
case
same
with
thing every
this.
week. This is
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. I'm I'm
I think.
I'm I like this. And no one could tell me differently. Those promos were 100% off the cuff.
Oh yeah.
The
I
way they
think. I.
spoke in their promos, go ahead.
Well, I think Drew is a big part of what's keeping it fresh too. He's so
Absolutely.
unpredictable and so present on everywhere. Like he could be present in the ring. He could be present online. He could be live tweeting the show. He could be dropping memes throughout the week just based on news that comes out about people. He is keeping this feud alive. And I mean, honestly, I have faith in what Seth Rollins and CM Punk would have done without him if they hadn't originally planned to integrate him into the story. But it very well could have ended up being a similar feud where it's repetitive, come out here, talk to each other, maybe drop some good promos, but then it ends in a fist fight, and then it ends in this, and then it ends in Seth stomping him, and then it ends in a go to sleep. Having Drew integrated adds to the dynamic and allows more people to not only be invested in it, but also more ways to invest maybe other people that we've seen. I don't know.
Absolutely. And when Drew came out and started talking about that's just like you, you're so egotistical and everything's about you and this and that, and CM Punk interrupts him and he goes, "You see, Punk, not everything's about you. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Seth." Oh, that was so good. That was
Yeah,
so good. That was
yeah,
so good. So I'm cool with this. I want to see where it goes, and I think this could take us through. This Rumble is stacked.
well, yeah. These three guys have all
This
announced that they will
Rumble
be in the Rumble.
2025 Royal Rumble, if you're able to go to that show, you're going to one hell of a Royal Rumble
Yeah,
because
40
between
spots.
these three guys, between John
Cena,
Cena,
Roman.
Roman, this is a stacked Rumble.
We gonna see
Yes,
him? We gonna
we'll
see
get
him in
to
there, or is he
him.
gonna have a match?
We'll, we'll get to him in a little bit. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like where this is going. I like where it's going. What's the next topic, next show?
Well, I mean, to go off of that, just the last thing on that, we are gonna see a rematch of that SummerSlam match on Monday. So stay tuned for that, everybody, because you know it's gonna be a banger between these two.
Yeah, that
Next up,
WrestleMania rematch is gonna be good.
another teaser they dropped that I actually wanted to ask you about on the spot because I don't know much about this guy other than I've seen him at the drafts. I've seen him showing up at other companies. What do you think Hall of Famer JBL is going to be doing this Monday?
I don't know. When I saw that, it was kind of interesting. I know he's not going to be on commentary, or they'll probably have him do a match or so. You know, he was with Michael Cole for years on SmackDown. Then came over to Raw. Um, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be giving somebody a rub. I have no idea. So it's going to be interesting what they do with JBL. Um, like you said, Hall of Famer, great. To me, he was a great champion. I liked his title reign. Um, he set he set John Cena up, and John Cena took the ball and ran from there. So I mean, it was a good feud. It was a good way for him to put over John Cena and stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. I hope it's not commentary because if it is, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Last time we saw him, I believe, was on NXT. He was trying to help a younger guy out. So we'll see. We'll see what
Has he
happens. But yeah, JBL next week, the
has he shown
wrestling
up in
god.
TNA? Did he show up in TNA at all? Because
I
I know he's been on
don't.
other companies.
Well, he's never been in AEW.
No, but he's
I
been showing up in
think he.
indies.
I think he did show up in TNA to confront Zack Ryder, and he
Because you
gave him a
did
clothesline
send me
from hell.
something. You sent me something
Yeah,
about TNA today earlier.
yeah, yeah, man. In parentheses, I know we're going off script here, but TNA signing a multi-deal contract with the WWE and NXT. If you look at TNA's Genesis promo, it says NXT on it. So we're gonna get a lot of crossover stuff, which is great going into Rumble season.
Yeah.
We might finally get to see Moose in the Royal Rumble. Another one that I'm excited to see, of course, you know, Zack Ryder,
Yeah.
Matt Cardona in the Rumble, but Dolph Ziggler
Yep.
come out with the TNA title. I'm excited. I love this with the WWE, NXT, and TNA. This only makes both companies strong. They really have a grab hold of they got a chokehold on the world of professional wrestling right now. So it's cool. I hope we get to see a lot of WWE guys go over to TNA, and I want to see top guys go over to TNA. You know,
Yeah.
um, I would like to see that. I really, really would like to see that. I would like to see the New Day show up and just beat up the Rascals just because. Um,
They're the
so
ones.
we'll see.
They're the other advertised for next week.
Yeah. We
They're
might get to see
returning.
the Hardys back in the WWE.
That
So
would be cool. I know they've been
uh,
saying they want to come back.
yeah. So it's a very exciting time if you're a WWE TNA fan, NXT fan. It's a very exciting time. So I'm cool with that. I'm down.
Yeah. All right.
What we
Next
got,
up,
man?
apparently my finger's been trigger friendly. Or I don't know. My finger keeps trying to switch to the slide. I don't know why. Um,
Because
we're
that's
gonna be
your
talking
boy
about.
Yeet.
Yeah, my finger's ready to eat. Gunther had a promo, and who came out to talk to him but main event Jay Uso? This is all leading up to Saturday night main event coming in a week from this Saturday, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be having Jey Uso main event Jey Uso versus Gunther, the Ring General for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who's
What do you
coming out
think?
on top? I
What
don't
do you
know.
think? It's your
I
boy
think
Jay.
I think if they're really pushing the Saturday night main event, are they going to put the main event Jey Uso in the main event and let him lose? The thing is, the thing is, Gunther has not had that long of a title reign. At least in terms of feuds, I don't think he had.
Yeah.
How many feuds has he had?
Not much.
He had a rematch with Damian.
Nothing memorable.
No,
It's been very lackluster.
but he also hasn't had promo for him to be retaining either. He's just been chilling.
Yeah,
Jay's been on
he
all the
wasn't on
time.
the debut of Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't there.
I think he had a promo, but that was it. Yeah, he had a backstage promo thing. It was like a black and
So it's
white.
like you're debuting on Netflix and your world champion's not even in the ring.
Hmm.
I had a problem with that, obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think Jay wins Saturday night's main event.
You
I'll be
don't think they're
shocked.
gonna let the
I'll
main
be
event?
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I will be shocked if main event Jey Uso beats Gunther at Saturday night's main event for the title.
But can you imagine how much that would establish these
Oh my
events?
God. The place will go insane.
Place would go insane.
But I don't think
What a way to close it.
the buildup is too short, man. Get me more invested into it. The only reason we're invested is because we're Jey Uso fans.
exactly.
You know
But
what I'm saying?
I think
So I can see Jay losing because Solo jumps in or something.
you think it'll be Solo, or you think it'll be like Kevin?
It could be Kevin. Remember, I told you, I really think there's going to be a faction with Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins.
That could even set up a
And
feud with Kevin and Sammy. Kevin attacks Sammy's boy.
yeah,
Sammy got to defend his
and
honor.
and and that's one match that no one gets tired of seeing is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
And I haven't seen that aspect of their relationship. I've only seen
Yeah,
them
so
from when they took down the Usos. That's where I started.
yeah, so their fights are insanely good, but I don't think he wins, man.
No,
I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it. The way Gunther was laughing at him, like he was,
he's
you're
always
not on my
laughing.
level, man.
He's always
You're
laughing.
not that guy.
That's what he
He
said to
literally
Damien.
was telling him, you're not that guy.
True, true. But
We'll see.
what if he finishes his story? Because Jey Uso's dad never got a world title, did he?
No.
Finish his story. You can see Cody and Jay as the two
Okay.
men's champions, world
So
champions.
so so okay. It's safe to say whoever comes out of the Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
whatever championship, if Cody's defending his title at the Rumble, if Gunther's defending his title, whoever comes out of the Rumble as champion, it's safe to say that they're going all the way to WrestleMania as champion. I don't see them
Yep,
dropping the titles at Elimination Chamber or anything like that. So it's safe to
true.
say that they're going to WrestleMania. So that being said, if Jey Uso wins, can you see him main eventing one night of WrestleMania? Realistically, is that going to sell more tickets than Gunther being champion and facing CM Punk or something like that?
I think if they handle the promo correctly, yes. Jey Uso is a moneymaker. He's been top seller on the merch. He gets the crowd up. He's got Pat McAfee in his corner. He's got the drone shots. Gunther will put butts in seats too.
But
But
can you
Jey
see him
Uso,
as champion though?
I don't know.
With this quick story, can you see him as champion?
Stuff like this has happened before in the time I've been watching. Who was it that I was not expecting to get the title? Who just won the title? Which guy? Just won a. I wasn't expecting Shinsuke to win right off the bat.
But I was, because he's been away for so long, comes back with a different kind of look. He's fierce.
True.
He's the chase is always more
Fun.
to me. The chase of the title is better than when you get the title and you have to defend it.
I think that's the problem with LA Knight.
Yeah,
In I think that's why his title reign was a little sloppy because people were more invested in him getting his title in the climb that he had for that. So I don't know. I feel like Jay's Intercontinental Championship reign was cut too short too, though.
I think it was too.
So I don't
I
know.
think it was too. Well, I don't know, man.
You going
Like I said,
Gunther?
I like Jay, but I don't think he takes a title off of Gunther.
I'm gonna play.
I don't think.
I'm gonna.
I don't think it's. I don't think
I
he
don't know.
does.
I'm gonna gamble and I'm gonna say he does.
Okay.
But
All right. We'll
but
find
that
out.
answer might change depending on how next Monday goes. If next Monday they don't really talk about it before the show, probably not.
They
But
gave
right
too
now,
much time for this not to happen.
I don't know. I'm gonna stay on the eater.
We'll see.
I'm gonna keep him in my
What's
heart.
next, man?
So next up, like you mentioned earlier, we had another match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This time being a street fight. This is how they closed out Raw on Monday. When it started, we still had about an hour left in the show, and everybody was freaking out online, wondering if we were going to get an hour-long street fight because it was what was advertised as the main event. But It only lasted a half hour. What did you think? Before we get to the actual feud itself between the two guys, in terms of a street fight, what did you think about the actual street fight itself?
Nacho, it was a great match. It was a great match. That bump they took onto the tables,
Yeah.
that priest gave Finn,
Oh yeah.
it was a good match. Now, you know, I just got done saying I've been wanting this to end so long ago. And I was so happy that it was gonna come to an end because they kept saying, "This is it. This is
Mhm.
it." And when they got done, I was like, "Damn, I want to see them do it again." It was really good. When he put him on that stretcher and wheeled him down and let him
That
go,
was
I thought for
that
sure it
was
was gonna
sick.
tip over.
The
I
way
thought
that
for sure it was gonna tip over.
he kept it balanced and lined it up to where it hit perfectly, and he
Perfect.
rolled into the ring. That was
I
perfect.
guarantee you they couldn't pull that off again if they tried.
Oh my gosh, this
The the
dude, the
the
stomp
coup de
through the
grace
table.
through the table.
I don't like that move. That move scares me in the ring. But when he did it on the table, that was actually pretty cool. I got a
Yeah,
little
and then
excited
and
on
then
that
if you
one.
saw, he hits the coup de grace and then he like kind of slips up on the table. Oh, it was so
Mhm,
sick. It was so sick. It
mhm.
was a great match. It
I
was a
liked it.
great match.
They had the Judgment Day moved in there, the Street Trash with them.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I think it's time for Finn to get a championship again.
Finn just needs to get a win, and it needs to not be against Damien because the crowd is behind Damien. And
Yeah.
they keep doing this where it's back and forth, where Finn's like, "I'm the guy, I'm the new leader," and then he loses.
But you know what? Finn has put Damien in a really good place.
Oh, he has.
He's made Damien look good. And all of Damien's wins against Finn, he's made Damien look really, really strong.
Yeah,
So seeing this, I hope that they take Finn away from the Judgment Day, and I hope Finn gets his title push. He definitely deserves it. If
yeah.
anybody deserves you deserve it, it's gotta be Finn. It's gotta
I'd
be
like to
Finn.
see it because he has a cool move set. I like his moves, but I
Yeah.
barely get to
I
see
want to
them in
see
the
the
ring
demon
because
come back.
that's what I was going to ask you. I wonder if the demon comes back because the
It
last time
has
we saw the demon, it was not the
no.
greatest thing. I don't know.
And it was also under a different regime. Now it's
Yeah,
a new era.
yeah.
And the best version of the Demon King that we saw was in NXT, and that's when Triple H was in charge.
Okay.
So I definitely think that they'll do it the right way on the main roster. But great street match, great match, so
Yeah,
entertaining. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
yeah. All right. We also got a new women's intercontinental champion. The
Here
first is
we
this the
go.
first time ever?
Singles championship on the main roster, yes.
Yep. Lyra
And
Valkyria,
the first women's uh intercontinental
intercontinental.
champion for the main roster. Yeah, they never had that
Now,
title. So
now going into this match, I definitely was rooting for Lyra between the two. I haven't been as behind Dakota, just the way that they've set her up. She was gone for a long time with her injury, then suddenly she was in this picture. Lyra was also gone, but she was on NXT for a little bit. I like Lyra's presentation. I like her performance in ring, so I was definitely on her side for this. Very happy for her. What did you think of the way this played out?
um obviously congratulations to Lyra. I mean, that's pretty cool. I really wanted Dakota to win it. And I guess it's because I've followed Dakota since her NXT and I've seen everything she's had to go through and how in NXT she was towards the top, then they put her at the bottom, and then she went away and then came back and then scattered around, then played a crazy gimmick for a little bit, then brought her over
Mm-hmm.
into the the main roster, and then she kind of like fizzled away, then got hurt, and then she was just as like a manager for so long,
Yeah.
and she's finally getting her rhythm up under her again. I was really rooting for Dakota Kai, um, just like I was rooting for Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Um, I think that these two titles are specifically made for those women that bust their butts off. And there's so many top-notch women for the world titles. They needed a secondary title for the women. Um, I guarantee that when they thought of these titles, they weren't thinking of Becky Lynch. They weren't thinking of Charlotte Flair. They weren't thinking of these women. They were thinking of the women that bust their ass, like Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae should be a
The
champion
speed
one
champion.
day.
She's the speed champion right now.
Yeah, so they should definitely do that. So that being said, I wanted Dakota to win, but I'm happy that the titles are on people that we're not used to seeing titles on. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to see Bailey as the champion. I didn't want to see Becky Lynch as the
Io.
champion.
Io was in there.
I wanted to see the women that deserve to get a title reign. And who knows? Maybe these title reigns will. Maybe they'll put on some special matches. She's definitely talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she don't deserve it, but I was just hoping Dakota would.
I think these titles would be interesting to have shorter title reigns with. Don't let them hold on to. I mean, unless they're going to be defending it nonstop and you really build up their character, I think it would be fun to have these titles kind of bounce around from person to person. At
But
least
then it doesn't mean to me it doesn't. The title don't mean anything.
that's true. I mean, I'm just saying, like, not like have them hold it for like half a year. Have them hold it for a
Yeah,
couple months, maybe for a pay per view, then let them drop it. I think
because I mean that's
there's
what
just
happened.
so many people.
That's what happened in WCW with their world heavyweight title. There was one time within a year, I think the title changed like 50 times. And then the last one was David Arquette. When he won the world title, I was like, I'm done with WCW. I'm really done with WCW. So I don't want it waters down the title, man. So I don't want to see
That's
that
fair.
happen. I
That's
mean,
fair.
I want to see one of these women hold it for a while. Let them go on a great run. Whoever it is, whether it's not these two women and it's the next batch of champions, but have somebody really take that title, make have a big run with it. Just like the Miz did with the Intercontinental title a few years ago. When the Miz was the
Mm-hmm.
champion, he held that title for so long. It meant something. And it was always being defended on Monday Night Raw. And he would put stickers on his belt for every win he got. And it made the title so important that when Dolph Ziggler finally took it off of him, the place went insane because, you know, just like Gunther did not too long ago when he had the title and it got taken off of him, he made the title mean something. When you have a title reign for 2 months or you're just a placeholder for the next person, it gets. I just don't want to see a title reign like Roman Reigns. Don't get me
That's
wrong.
fair.
I don't want
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
that. But yeah, 6 months. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
Cool.
What's
Cool.
next, bro?
Next up, our main event. It wasn't actually the main event. This is just our main event because we saved the best for last. WWE has been teasing the debut of a new wrestler the past couple
Yes,
weeks,
sir.
giving us little hints, little teasers, and
Yes,
finally,
sir.
it was thought he was going to be debuting on the first Monday Night Raw on Netflix, but no, they dropped this teaser and laid it out for us. And then the morning of the second episode of WWE Raw on Netflix, the WWE merch shop decided to just spoil the whole surprise and post a picture of him with all his new merch and his masks in the shop. Michael Cole said it himself, the worst kept secret in the business. Penta, Cero Miedo, debuted against Chad Gable. This this match, this debut had me sitting up in the edge of my seat, leaning forward like I was bracing for like a plane crash or something the entire time. I'm usually sitting back in my seat. Maybe sometimes I'll get up if like there's a match I'm really invested in. But this match, from the moment the commercial we came back from commercial break and the lights went out, I sat forward and I did not take my eyes off the TV until the promo after was over. This is how you handle a luchador. This is how you handle a character, a wrestler, and a person on a roster filled with superstars. In one night, in one match, in one promo, they took a wrestler from AEW who was mid card tag titles at best, hadn't even wrestled that much before release, and made him the number one merch seller, the number one most talked about thing in wrestling that day. Each video posted on their socials over 1 million views. The crowd was chanting his name before his song even started. This is how you handle this. They hyped this up, kind of like they did with the Wyatt Six, got people interested in a character that probably most of them knew nothing about, at least for like the general audience. And they invested the crowd so that when he debuted, it was eye candy for everyone and someone that they could get behind. And then they paired him against the person that everyone chants you suck to, and the person who can put on a performance and make someone else look good. And it was incredible. I'm not even going to get to the promo until after I let you talk about the say yours.
You're starting to come over. You're starting to come over. You're starting to see it. And don't give me that BS excuse that you ain't been watching wrestling that long, because you know enough now to know AEW does not know how to tell stories. They do not know how to book wrestlers. Let me ask you a question, Nacho. Since Penta was in AEW, in the merch department, how many times did AEW make a mask for him to sell? Settle. What's the first thing WWE does when he comes over? They make him a mask.
And they put
They
it in the
sell it.
shops. They had
They
multiple
sold
masks.
out.
They had multiple masks with different designs in the shops at the arena for people to be wearing when he came out at the show so that they could
The
feel
worst,
connected to him.
the worst kept secret is what they said, right?
Yep.
The worst kept secret. It was so amazing seeing his daughter, his family in the front row. Now you've seen Penta wrestle in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me, where was that selling that he was doing on Monday in AEW? He sold the leg so good. Chad Gable, come on, somebody give him his damn flowers, man.
That.
Amazing match. It was good. Now,
That.
there were some parts there that there was some timing issues. Yeah. It wasn't a Dave Meltzer 5-star match, okay? But it was a really good match. It was good. It was good pacing. There was more offense thrown against Penta than Penta got on Gable. But when
Yeah.
Penta did a move on Gable, it meant that much more. It was to me, it was a great debut.
Yep.
But the best part was giving him the microphone at the end. Nacho, you're from Hispanic descent. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Hispanic descent. It feels good when you give someone that is from our culture the opportunity to express himself in his own way. And when he said in Spanish that this, what you see here, is when a Mexican wants to move forward, he can move forward. This, what you see here, is hard work. This, what you see here, of this is where I wanted to be. this is where I wanted to be. His dream came true. To see his daughter literally crying from start of the bell to the end. The only thing in my mind that Penta would probably say he wished he had was if he debuted with his brother.
Yep.
But if this happened to Penta, imagine when Ray shows up.
Yeah.
This is such a great debut. And then for him to go backstage in gorilla position, take a picture with the boss,
Get his boss to
and
do
Triple H
the
throwing up the Cero Miedo.
Yeah.
I know Tony Khan was in a corner crying, upset, because he
with his
fumbled
action
that one
figures.
big time.
He had his Penta action figures.
Yeah. He fumbled. He fumbled it, man. He fumbled it.
You want to know what's
And you
even
know
better?
what? What's that?
Going back to what you said about the speech that he gave, more than half of that speech, the general, the, more than half of that speech, a majority of the people watching could not understand. But you know what they could understand? His emotion. And you know what's
His
even better
eyes
about
told it
that?
everything.
He had a mask on, and all you could see were his eyes and his mouth. And that told enough of the story that made him more over than he ever was in AEW and more over than anyone else that night.
They didn't let him talk in AEW, man. Very
That's how you do
rarely
it.
did he have the live mic.
That's how you do it. And especially with the rep that the WWE has gotten with their luchador like wrestlers that are on the roster and the storylines they've done with them, the lack of storyline they've had with them and just the repetitiveness. Doing something so special like this for Penta on his first night with the company shows you that when he said this is a new era for WWE, this is
The
the
Penta
Penta era. This is a new era, and I'm hoping that we see this kind of treatment for other luchadors in the company and who may come to the company from future partnerships. I'm hoping we see similar treatment for them as well going forward because
yeah,
lucha is such a special type of wrestling. And for more people to get to see it and see it this way on Netflix around the world, this could grow so much more than just WWE. There's just so much potential
absolutely.
with what they're doing and how they handle this. Like
What's
it's giving
what's
me
the
like
pay per view
butterflies.
that they're going to Mexico?
Backlash.
Backlash. So they're going to Backlash, Mexico City.
I thought that's what they
Dude,
were gonna have him talk about when they first gave him the mic. That was my first thought, is that he was gonna be the one to announce that.
can you imagine Penta versus Andrade? Dude,
Andrade, I'm so they need to move Andrade to Raw because I need to see them
here's the
together.
thing. Here's the thing. I don't know if you ever saw Penta in Lucha Underground.
I've seen clips. I saw him fight Chelsea. I saw him.
Yeah,
I've
he
seen him
fought
wrestle a couple
Chelsea,
other
he fought
people.
Io Sky, Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
He fought Prince Puma, which was Ricochet. But he was called Penta Dark because he was
Yeah.
all black.
Yeah.
He was a heel. But he can be a champion. Andrade can be a champion. These guys are, man, they can
He was
go.
the speed champion. He was the speed
Bro,
champion.
bro. But these guys, man, I'm excited to see what they do with him. But I can't wait till his brother shows up.
Yeah.
I really can't wait. Because if you think about it, the Lucha Bros versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And then when they get healthy, to see Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows against the Lucha Brothers, No, the tag team division in WWE, not a lot of people are thinking about it or looking at it, but it's stacked.
Yeah,
They got some great tag teams, like really great tag teams. So I'm excited to see where Penta goes from here. I'm excited to see when Ray shows up. I think what he has a few more months on his contract or something like that. They were
that's.
saying
I mean, possibly, but
debatable.
somebody pointed out that all of his merch has been deleted from the
Yeah,
AEW shop.
if you go to shop AEW or whatever, it takes you to an error page. I looked at it.
Yeah,
I think you
so
told
people
me that,
think
and I went on there and checked it out, and yeah, it gives you an error page.
maybe if Tony somehow decides to release him from his contract, I don't know the stipulations with that, but he could be at the Rumble.
Yeah,
That would be
because
huge. But I
there's no
think,
more 90-day clause.
yeah.
That's against the law now.
So I mean, we could see him there, or it could be. I think it was like a couple months because of his ankle that he broke or something. He broke something that caused a delay in his actual contract.
And I think it's going to be amazing when he comes back because they're former TNA champions as well. And now with this relationship with TNA, it's exciting. Pero Cero Miedo, that place erupted. There was Cero Miedo chants going on like crazy. It was good that when he got ready to do it, Chad Gable cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he finally did it, the crowd was into it. They knew exactly what they had to say.
Yep.
His interaction with the crowd afterwards, there's videos surfing online how his interaction was with the crowd. Uh, all in all, a great debut for
Yep.
Penta. I'm super happy for him, man. You could tell,
Yep.
like you said, the emotions in his eyes. He said everything with his eyes. You just felt it. You felt it inside.
Well, the last part I'll say about this, they to add to that, they were so smart in the way they framed that moment because they let him do his Cero Miedo, and then they did a close-up shot where all you could see, you couldn't see the crowd, you couldn't see the ring, all you could see was his mask, his eyes, and his mouth. So
Yeah,
that's
when
all
he
you
was
could
on the camera,
focus
come
on.
here, come here,
Yeah,
come here,
that's
come
all you could
close.
focus on. And it
Ooh,
really drew you in, and that's what helped
great.
you realize it all. You didn't have to listen to the commentators saying, This is this is what he's doing. And he holds this in his heart. Like, no. He explained it himself. And that's what
You
they
know
did
what, man?
properly.
And how's his merch doing right now, Nacho?
Uh Jay Uso was on the top for the longest time. Penta on top. Penta,
And
I
that's
think
all we
all
got
of
to say
his
about that.
merch is the top spots. And I think the mask, did you say the mask was sold out?
Yeah,
Rey
that's all we
Mysterio's
have to
mask are now
say.
sold out. Penta's masks are sold out.
It's a new era. It's a new era. It's the Penta era. That's pretty
Penta
sick.
era.
Nacho, what else we got before we head up out of here, man?
That's it for me. That's all I had. I got butterflies from talking about that stuff.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely a new era in professional wrestling with WWE Raw on Netflix. Um, NXT is doing really, really good with their storyline telling. If you watched NXT this past Tuesday, you saw the TNA Knockouts champion sitting in the crowd. I'm excited to see what NXT is doing. I'm excited to see what TNA is doing. And I think next week, for the first time, I am going for the first time in 4 months. For the first time in let me see, what was it? July. The first time in 6 months, I'm going to watch a full episode of AEW
Tomorrow?
next week.
Oh. I was going to say tomorrow's
And
SmackDown.
no, next week. I'm going to watch a full episode of AEW, and I'm going to see has anything changed since when I stopped watching in July.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let you know. But I am glad, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it here. How Nacho, who watches AEW,
from
He's
time to
starting
time.
to realize he's starting to see it. It's a star in his eyes. He's starting to see. He's starting to see what we've been complaining about for a long time. Um, but that being said, Nacho, we got to do this again real soon. We got to talk about, hey, you know what? We need to do a show where we can watch, where they can watch along with us. I think that'd be sick.
Maybe we can do that for Saturday night main event.
Maybe we can do it for Saturday night's main event and watch Jay lose. Oh no,
Oh, you gonna do that?
Well, but until next time, everybody, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you click on the subscribe button, click the notification bell. That way, every time we go live, every time we put a video out there, you guys will be notified. We really appreciate you guys. We're trying to start off this year doing something more consistently now that our schedules are in play. Maybe we'll get to see you guys next week, right after Monday Night Raw or before Monday Night Raw, or if any breaking news happens in the world of professional wrestling, we'll be sure to update it. So check out all of our social medias: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Leave us your comments.
X.
Tell us if there's a topic you want us to discuss. We'll be more than happy to do so. So, Nacho, any last words? Cero miedo from Nacho. No last comments or words from him. He said it all with that. So, once again, this is the Curtain Call Podcast. I'm your boy, the Spanish Fly. That's my tag team partner, Nacho. And remember, here at the Curtain Call Podcast, man, too sweet me if you got me, baby. And remember, we always kick out at 2. Nacho, let's go, man.